Before the start of a fund learning event held in Accra, Ghana, several fund participants and team members had the brief but welcome opportunity to meet Reeta Roy, the president and CEO of Mastercard Foundation. During the early morning session, Reeta met participants individually and heard about their journeys as the path of financial inclusion delivery in sub-Saharan Africa. The session started with Smita Sangrashka, partner KPMG IDAS, who spoke about the progress being made by the fund through its 38 participants working in 15 countries in sub-Saharan Africa.
Significant progress has already been made. Livelihoods are being improved, resilience is being built, communities are being lifted, particularly with the jobs being created and the growth of the financial rural markets.
Smita also spoke to the need to build momentum in sharing the fund learnings and insights so that even more milestones can be achieved in delivering financial inclusivity and in job creation. In her brief comments, Reeta thanked participants for their work so far and noted how the fund had evolved beyond original expectations.
When the Mastercard Foundation began this fund, working very closely with KPMG, our thoughts were really about smallholder farmers and the challenges that they faced, particularly around access to finance. And yet, as this fund expanded, thanks to all of you coming on board, you are the real heroes. And this fund clearly has taken on a life and a momentum of its own in terms of the results, the learnings, and I believe in part the community that's also being established. In so many ways, you are at the forefront of the transformation of what needs to happen in the agriculture sector and what needs to happen to benefit lives of communities and lives of smallholder farmers.
Reeta went on to ask a key question. Ann Minor, CEO Inuka Africa, responded by saying we need to address different parts of the value chain.
In the space of dairy, we find that they become engaged in things like transportation of the milk from the farm to the cooperative or around. And in Kenya especially, we have a lot of what we call boda bodas or motorbikes. And we have very many of the youth involved in this. We have them involved in things like silage preparation, stocking and distribution of hay. They're getting involved in the input side of things. They're getting involved as agro-vets. So when you look across the value chain, there are increasing opportunities for the youth to get engaged in, and that has been very positive for us.
However, she noted a challenge.
The youth are not the owners of the assets, right? They are owned by their parents. They don't, in our case, don't even have animals. So it becomes a challenge to expect them to then actually participate in the farming, even though we're seeing a lot more of that happening.
Reeta posed a second question around where the greatest opportunities for job creation in agriculture are. And Mafte of the Rural and Agricultural Finance Learning Lab responded to the question by noting that significant job creation is dependent on governments patronizing and taking certain pathways, such as that to invest and improve primary production or move to value-added services if real job creation pathways are to be opened up. This was supported by Tim Hubden, IPE Triple Line.
Well, what we know that the FRP participants have been really, really good at in working with smallholder farmers is taking smallholder farmers from a place of vulnerability and really working on their resilience, helping people to become more resilient to shocks, improving their income, and taking them from really subsistence farming maybe just to the next level.
In responding to Reeta's third question, Alexander Costa of Baobab Plus Mali noted that there are 3 aspects in rural areas to build resilience.
So in terms of climate change, I think the first question we have to understand is to develop the rural areas. There are 3 things I think we have to fix it's first energy and connectivity and mobility. And I think if we work on these 3 things, all financial inclusion, job creation, everything will happen in rural areas.
In addition, Eric Silverman, founder of Easy Solar, noted that ensuring products provide aspects such as insurance alongside their flexible payment plans and models can go a long way to improving resilience. Aloysius Atta, CEO and co-founder of Farmerline, also contributed to the questions posed around enabling youth.
If we want to get more young people into agriculture, the question, how do we get them to make real money, create wealth for themselves, and then create wealth for their families and in their communities? There are many examples that we could learn from. We could learn a lot from the private sector. When I was growing up, I thought Coca-Cola was a Ghanaian company because there's a Coke stand in every single village. I don't know how they did it. Mobile networks, when you go to the rural areas everywhere, there's a mobile money stand. The question is, how do we take all these lessons and bring it to agriculture?
Reeta then gave her closing remarks.
Thank you so much for sharing and for just opening up your thoughts and based on what you know and clearly from what you've experienced.
Milton Laurie, team leader on the fund, spoke to the fact that the solutions remain difficult and for the need for all present to continue on the journey of education and knowledge sharing.